Hello and welcome to the Wireless LAN News Desk for September the 7th, 2018. My name is Tom Carpenter. I'm the CTO at CWNP. And we have a couple of interesting things to share in Wireless LAN news this week. But first of all, a reminder to go to conferences.cwnp.com in order to sign up for the Wi-Fi Trek Conference in San Diego that's now just a very few weeks away. That's conferences.cwnp.com. Now, in the news, first of all, Broadcom has announced a new 802.11ax chipset, BCM43684. This chipset is 802.11ax. It is capable of 4x4, multi-user MIMO, multiple user OFDMA, all of these basic features of 802.11ax that we expect, including target wake time. One interesting feature it has is an existing feature Broadcom has had in their chipsets for some time called zero wait time, or zero wait DFS. Now, zero wait DFS is interesting because what Broadcom has done is to comply with the requirement that a channel be scanned for 60 seconds, if it's a DFS channel, before moving to it, then they scan in the background. So what happens is while you're on a DFS channel, you must detect radar events if they occur. If a radar event occurs, you've got about 10 seconds to get off the channel, and you have to scan the target channel you're moving to for 60 seconds if it's a DFS channel. So the pain point is there could be several seconds of complete downtime for the BSS. Well, with zero wait DFS, the potential is there to scan these other channels in the background while you're active on the channel, even without a radar event, so that you always have a channel you're ready to jump to. The only problem is that in order to do that, you'll have to have a spatial stream dedicated to scanning that other channel, an entire radio dedicated to scanning that other channel, or you'll have to go off channel to do it. And so clearly there are some potential performance drawbacks to zero wait DFS while you're active on the channel. So the recommendation would still be that your fallback from a DFS radar event is a non-DFS channel, if at all possible, but zero wait may provide some enhancement to some environments. Now, the other thing I want to share with you in the news is a security issue that has come to attention. It was first announced back in March, I believe it was, and it's called wide jacking. Now, the concept is that Chrome and Opera browsers can save your login information to your home wireless router, and an attacker, if they can get you to go to a fake website that looks like your router, then they can get Chrome or Opera to input that information and they can steal the password to your wireless router. So once they have that, they can get your pre-shared key, they could get into your network, they could do other things. This week it came to attention again when Newsweek ran an article at newsweek.com that said millions of home Wi-Fi networks at risk. Well, there are a couple of things to keep in mind. First of all, in order for you to be at risk, you have to be using Chrome or Opera. And yes, lots of users use Chrome, not as many use Opera, but not all users use Chrome. The second thing is Chrome would have had to have gone to your wireless router at some point in the past and logged in and had those credentials saved. Again, when people first get their router and set up Wi-Fi, quite often they're using just the default browser, which for most people is Internet Explorer or Edge, and they may not have even used Chrome. So even if they have Chrome installed, they may have never accessed the router with Chrome. So those constraints alone minimize it significantly. I'm very doubtful it's millions of home users. But then you have to take the real risk factor is someone targeting your network? So when you take everything into account, it's not nearly as big of a vulnerability or a risk as it's made out to be. And there are simple things that you can do to protect against it. Like, for example, turn off the feature in Chrome that saves this. Chrome just released a patch that has fixed the problem, and that's why it became an issue again. So there is a patch available that makes it so it's not an issue. So if you're patched, if you are using a different browser than Chrome to access your wireless LAN router, if you are not saving that information, any of those things, and you're protected. So it's not at all hard to protect against it. Of course, the word needs to get out to users, and Newsweek's doing that. But I think this is yet another example of something that's blown out of proportion, that's not as big of a security issue as it seems to be, because the actual targets that will be targeted are a very small number of home environments. Moral of the story is, make sure that you use best practices when accessing devices. Believe it or not, this wonderful feature in all of our browsers that saves your username and password for every website you go to is not that good of a feature. It actually is a security concern because anyone can walk up to your computer, open your browser, and go to a site where you save that information, whether it's your bank or whatever. And so clearly that is a risk automatically in any browser when you save that information. Additionally, if you're running things on your computer like TeamViewer or something like that, if someone can get remote control of your computer, then they don't even have to sit down at your machine. They can just open the web browser and start going to sites to see which ones have the passwords remembered. So there's an inherent threat in that basic feature in all browsers that are there. That's a very real thing. So if you're watching this and you really want good security, stop saving your login information in any browser and either use another tool that you can store your password in some kind of a vault, or remember your password, or whatever works for you. But keep in mind, there's a risk to saving that in the browser. All right, well, that's all I have for the news desk this week. So remember, in summary, to go to conferences.cwnp.com in order to register for Wi-Fi Trek in San Diego, coming up just a few weeks away. And if you haven't subscribed already, you can do so below. And I look forward to seeing you again next week here on the Wireless LAN News Desk.